Good morning, everybody. Cruiseman here. I'm out in the garage this morning, and it's a little early, but I don't know. I got a Facebook message from a friend of mine, Gary. Some of you know as Road Glide this morning, and I thought, you know, this might be a good time to talk about this new Chinese Goldwing Killer. Okay, let's talk about it.
This video is sponsored by Cruiseman's Garage Honda Goldwing Maintenance Video Series.
Okay, maybe that's a little better. I don't know. Maybe make it worse, but that's okay. So anyway, I'm going to watch this video with you and give you some of my thoughts. Some of you, I'm sure, have already heard about this new big 8-cylinder Chinese, what everybody's calling the Goldwing Killer, that's being produced or manufactured supposedly by this Chinese auto manufacturer. Well, I'll tell you what, let's watch the video. I'm going to stop it periodically and I'll give you my thoughts on it. So let's talk about that and also talk a little bit more about the 2025 Honda Goldwing, because that's still kind of fresh in everybody's mind. Okay, let me start this video.
Watch your back, Honda. Enter a new contestant, the Suo S.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. Right off the bat, this video, and I don't know who produced this video, but right off the bat, the first words out of their mouth is, "Watch your back, Honda." They are obviously targeting Honda and the Honda Goldwing, and the reason they're targeting it is because the Honda Goldwing is the most popular, has the longest model life of any touring bike, except for maybe the Harley, but the Goldwing is kind of considered the standard for touring, comfort, power, and all that. So right off the bat, they're targeting Honda. Okay, let's go on.
S2000 GL. This beast from Great Wall Motors is aiming straight at the Honda Goldwing, and it's got the specs to back it up. With the world's...
Okay, let me stop it there. It's from Great Wall Motors, which is a Chinese auto manufacturer. To my knowledge, they have no dealerships in the United States. So that might be a concern for some of you. Now, they may have dealerships in Europe. I don't know. Let's go on.
Purpose-made flat 8 engine, this 2-liter monster cranks out 152 horsepower. I couldn't find figures for torque, but I'm guessing it's north of 180 foot-pounds. Weighing in at a jaw-dropping 1,016 pounds, the S2000 GL is heavier and longer than the Goldwing.
Okay, let me stop it there. Okay, 152 horsepower. He said it's over 1,000 pounds, 1,016 pounds, I think. For me personally, I'm at the age where I don't know if I really want an additional 200 pounds for my motorcycle. I kind of like the smaller, sportier form factor of the current Goldwing. I know that when the 2018 models first came out, there were a lot of you that had Honda Goldwings that were upset that they had made it smaller. The trunk was smaller, the saddlebags were smaller, everything. I mean, it just didn't have the wind protection that the older Goldwing had. And a lot of people were upset with that. You wanted the Goldwing to get bigger. So for those of you that are in that camp, maybe this is something that would appeal to you. However, I feel like a lot of Goldwing owners really latched on to this new platform, this new smaller, sportier Goldwing, and it's still big enough to be a comfortable touring bike. So as far as 152 horsepower, I've never been a real horsepower nut. I don't care. I'm not trying to go 130 miles an hour. To me, 130 miles an hour on 2 tires, 2 wheels is nuts. But that's not what I buy a Goldwing for. If I wanted to go 130 miles an hour on a motorcycle, I'd buy a sport bike. I have a Goldwing for utility purposes and for comfort and long distance road trip touring. That's what I'm looking for. Let me go on.
But hey, bigger can mean better, right? It's got an 8-speed dual clutch transmission, topping Honda's 7. And get this, it said this giant can hit 130 miles per hour. Allegedly. Plus, it's got the same wheel and tire sizes as the Goldwing. ensuring easy to find tires, which is a plus. So will the SOHO S2000 GL dethrone the legendary Goldwing? Time will tell, but one...
I can already tell you that I don't care how good this motorcycle is, or if it even exists. I'm assuming it does exist, but it's not going to dethrone the Goldwing, okay? Not in our lifetime. Now it might take market share. You know, there might be some people that were in the market for a Honda Goldwing that end up buying this instead. I'm not suggesting that's not the case. I don't know yet if this is even a real motorcycle. I have seen some pretty incredible stuff done with AI. Now, you tell me, have any of you out there actually eyes on this motorcycle at a motorcycle show? You know, it could be a real thing. Let me know if you've actually seen this. Now, I'm not talking about a prototype. I'm not talking about a mock-up. I'm talking about an actual bike that you can start up, run, ride. Let me know in the comments down below, because I haven't heard anybody talk about that. I haven't seen a road test from a motor journalist with it. The age we live in of AI, this could all be AI generated for all I know. But who knows? I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and assume it's a real thing. But until I see it, touch it, feel it, ride it, I don't know.
Things for sure. This Chinese marvel is ready to take on the world.
Okay, so, you know, typical marketing stuff. And then there's another video that I found where they show, appears to be a young lady riding this motorcycle. She looks absolutely tiny compared to the size of the bike. The bike just looks massive. And it does look like a real video. Now, you tell me, from the front of this motorcycle, you know, the Chinese are famous for being able to copy things. That's a Yamaha Star Venture front end. There's nothing original about that front end on that motorcycle. That is, it looks to me just like a Yamaha Star Venture. The front fairing, the lights, everything. It does not appear to me, I looked at this video very carefully and I tried to find tip over protection and I didn't see any. So tell me if you saw any tip over protection in that video. Maybe you have to watch it a couple of times. So if you drop this 1,100 pound motorcycle or 1,000 pound motorcycle, how much damage is that going to do to that bike? And how are you going to find replacement parts? How easy is it going to be able to find replacement parts? How affordable is that going to be? And how easy is it going to be able to find somebody who could work on the bike? The trunk, honestly, the shape of the trunk looks exactly like the previous generation Honda Goldwing. The saddlebags look like they were borrowed from either a Yamaha or a Kawasaki model as far as the styling. I don't see a lot of original styling on this motorcycle. So it looks to me like they've just copied, they've taken the Yamaha Star Venture and maybe the previous generation Goldwing, taken design elements from each of these. Now they've done some things with the dash that are different. They've done some things, or at least it appears to be different. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. As I went into editing, I noticed the left hand control unit on the handlebars, and tell me if that's not right out of the Honda parts bin. You think? I think one of the main reasons people buy a Honda Goldwing is for reliability. They just celebrated their 50-year anniversary. I personally would not feel comfortable spending tens of thousands of dollars on a brand new platform from a brand new company in the motorcycle industry anyway. They may make other motorcycles, I'm not sure, but I just don't see it. Maybe I'm missing something here. I don't think it's going to dethrone the Goldwing, not anytime soon. Now, I know a lot of you were disappointed in the recent announcement and the release of the 2025 Honda Goldwing. I get that. I was disappointed. I was kind of hoping to see a little bit more. I didn't think we were going to get a whole new generation of Goldwing, but I thought they might have added a few things rather than take away. The only thing they've really added is the wireless CarPlay and the wireless Android Auto, which I think is really cool. I think it's great, but that's it. That's about all they've added. And then you compare that to what they've taken away. What did they take away? Well, apparently, from what I can tell and from what everybody's told me, no more onboard navigation, so you don't have satellite navigation anymore. You have to pretty much rely on CarPlay or Android Auto with Google Maps, Apple Maps, something like that. Not a big deal for me because I never use the onboard navigation, but it's a big deal for some of you. Some of you do like the onboard navigation. The other thing that appears to be removed is Sirius XM. So it doesn't appear that they offer the Sirius XM radio anymore built in. I have not been able to confirm that yet, but that's everything that I'm hearing, is that Sirius XM is no longer part of the audio package. And that means that you would have to use something like Apple CarPlay with the Sirius XM app if you want to get Sirius XM. Again, not a big deal for me because I canceled my XM subscription years ago because I got frustrated with the way they do business. But for some of you, you do use it. Now, if you use Apple CarPlay, it won't be an issue. You will, of course, be able to use the app to get Sirius XM. However, it is going to rely on your cell phone signal. So it's not like you have that satellite signal to help you. What's interesting that I haven't been able to really figure out on the Honda website, where it talks about navigation, they show a picture of a map, but it's like Google Maps or Apple Maps. And they talk about the screen, basically. It can display these maps, but it doesn't say it has built-in navigation anymore. What they do say, though, in that section is they talk about it having a gyroscopic capabilities so that it will work even when you're going through a tunnel. I'm not sure how a built-in gyroscope on the Honda Goldwing is going to affect Apple CarPlay, if that's true. What could they have done? What could Honda have done on the 2026, short of coming out with a new generation? What could they have done that would have pissed everybody off less? Well, apparently they've changed the audio package that sits under the trunk. Apparently this is new hardware, I'm guessing, because the only way you can have wireless CarPlay, unless they built in some kind of little dongle like the Carlin kit like I use, I don't think they would do that. I think it requires Wi-Fi. So they have to have a Wi-Fi signal somewhere on the motorcycle along with Bluetooth to enable Apple CarPlay, I think. And that's my understanding. Let me know in the comments down below. Some of you know more about this wireless CarPlay stuff than I do. But that was my understanding, was that CarPlay required both Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. I could be wrong about that. Regardless, they have changed the audio package because the screens are different now on the new Goldwing. They have different settings screens, different radio screens. They've obviously redesigned things. My concern is if they did replace that audio unit that sits under the trunk with a new version, hopefully with a newer version of Bluetooth, because we had a really old version of Bluetooth on this bike. And that is hardware. That takes a chip. That's a change in a chip. That's why when you get a new phone, a smartphone, it comes with a different version of Bluetooth, because that's something that can't be done through firmware or at least that's my understanding. So this tells me that Honda has changed the hardware package of the audio unit, and if that's true, then I'm speculating what we see on the 2025 Goldwing may be what we're also going to see in 2026 and this point going forward. Now, whether or not that system is extensible to offer more features, I don't know. Honda isn't going to come out with something just for 1 year. So if we think we're going to get a new generation Goldwing in 2026 or 2027 with radical changes, Honda's not going to, they would not have created a new audio package for the 2025 just for that 1 year. They're thinking longer term than that, I would think. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Now, as far as things Honda could have done that would not have cost a lot of money, and other manufacturers are already doing this, they could have had adaptive cruise control, which would have softened the blow of losing navigation and taking away some of these other things. I think if we had adaptive cruise, that would have made a big difference. I think if we had had blind spot monitoring built in with sensors and with marker lights in the mirrors, that would have been something that would have been very well received. I'm going to be going to a press event out in Las Vegas next week to see the new Indian products. They have some of these features built in on their higher end models. I'm anxious to see them, see how they work. You let me know. What else could Honda have done, short of completely redesigning the Goldwing? Just little bits and bobs. Maybe include HomeLink instead of making you have to go through the nightmarish installation process. Just include it so that you don't have to do that, and it would have been a value add, because they are increasing the price, and I understand that that's just the reality of the times we live in. As far as the color choices, I see responses all over the map. Some of you love that new gold color. Some of you can't stand it. It's a love or hate thing. And by the way, it was the same with the yellow Goldwing. Some people loved it, some people hated it. I personally loved it. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. And don't forget to sign up for my email newsletter. That really does help my ability to communicate with you when I come across special deals or offers. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Thanks for joining me today. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next Cruiseman's Garage.